Oh, the next one. Gift giving. Gift giving. So annoying. Not only did she like to use the phrase that gifts were freely given, which we all know they're not. They always come with a price. But then, I don't know if your narcs are like this with gift giving. This is my mom's favorite thing. She finds out that you like something, that's your gift forever. So, my wife, this is just the perfect example. My wife's an artist. She loves Disney. She loves Disney. Every single gift, Christmas, birthdays, just because my mom would give her this little Mickey knick-knack, or this pen with Disney character, or an old book. Then it was like, there was like, I forget what it's called, but like an artist rendering signed by the artist, like an original drawing, which is cool. But again, my wife didn't ask for any of these things. She didn't really want any of them. It was just kind of like a collection of stuff, because my mom liked to go antique shopping and things like that. So it was more about, and so we got to the point where we said, Mom, thank you, but please stop. Please stop. It's not that we don't appreciate it, but we don't appreciate it. Like, we don't need more things. We have an apartment. It's not like we're trying to hoard stuff anyway. And we just kindly said, please stop buying us these things. If we want something, we'll let you know. Fair? And we were all in agreement. Good, okay. The very next time she went out shopping, she came back and said, oh, I found this for you. What the heck? Like, no, thank you. And also, F off. Like, it's so rude. Because it's not that gift giving is inherently bad. I would love a gift if it was in fact freely given and also thoughtful. But after I've established a boundary that said, please don't, because of the following reasons, and then you do it anyway, now I am pissed. Because it shows that you don't care about what I have to say. It's more about you fueling your need to go out and compulsively buy junk and then pawn it off on people and then expect them to be grateful for it. That was the kicker. You had to go, oh, wow, oh, how thoughtful, and then, kiss their ass about it. Jeez, come on. I mean, just stop. That one was so frustrating. That crossing that boundary of, I asked you not to, I don't need another reason. That's it. Just respect that. No, of course not. Of course not. This last one is personal to my wife. It's personal to me because it happened to my wife. She didn't do it to me, at least that I could notice. And I didn't notice that she did this until my wife told me to start paying attention for it. Because again, when my mom and my wife would talk, I'd usually just check out because I was just glad I didn't have to talk to my mom. Which sounds bad, but it's true. So I had to start actively listening again. And so anyway, what my wife started to notice was if my wife and my mom were having a conversation and my mom didn't want to talk about it anymore, instead of asking to change topics, she would just interject and start talking about something else. I mean, she'd say something like, my wife would be talking to her and she would be like, oh, that reminds me, yada, yada, yada. Usually it was a complete tangent. So it's not, how were you reminded? Because, now you're talking about something else entirely. But two, pretty rude, right? At least either wait till the person's finished talking or just say, hey, I have something I'd like to share too. There's a lot of different ways you could go about it, but just saying, oh, that reminds me, and switching topics. So anyway, My wife started to notice this. It started happening a lot. So she asked me to pay attention. And not only did my wife ask her to stop interrupting her, but I asked my mom to stop interrupting my wife because I was witnessing it and I was starting to get pretty pissed. Because once I did start to see it happen, I'm like, this is really rude. It's really obvious and it's really rude. So we asked her, hey, when we're having a conversation, it would be really nice if we weren't interrupted. It's fine if you want to either participate in the conversation and you have something to say, or if you want to talk about something else, but just say so. Don't just interrupt and pretend like we don't notice that you're just not wanting to talk about that anymore. It's ridiculous. So we called her out on it, right? The next day, she contacts us and says, hey, we need to have a talk. Okay, great. We all know where this is going. So we get together to talk, and she says, I have something I need to tell you, and I would really appreciate it if you just sat there and listened before interrupting me. Okay? And so my wife starts to say something, and my mom goes, oh, no. Please wait till I'm done. Ooh, my wife did not like that. Okay. Sure, Mom. Floor is yours. So she goes on and talks about how, so my grandmother was sick, her stepmom was sick, the one who she hated anyway and didn't talk to was sick, so she had flown out to help her dad take care of her. She did end up passing. It was sad. But she used that as an excuse. So here's what she finished saying. I've been helping out my dad, and I've been super tired and super stressed out, and I come home, and then you guys lay into me and tell me that I do that, and I just can't believe it. Right? So now she's ramping up. She's using a tactic of driving up her anger and getting towards rage, where her anger is now surpassing our frustration. So, right, we're frustrated. So now she was here, we're frustrated. So now she's just going straight to anger. So that way she can be on top again and disregard what we asked, right? We established a boundary. Please don't interrupt us. She says the reason why she was interrupting is because she's stressed out and she's really tired. And how dare we tell her how to behave and be so disrespectful to her and what she's going through? Give me a break. I mean, you talk about lowest of the low in terms of all we're trying to do is say, hey, it's rude when you interject in a conversation and pretend like the conversation's not happening. That's all we're trying to say. You do this a lot. Please try to not do it anymore. So not only does she disregard that and pretend, but she says basically, you're rude for having asked me to do that. So, boundaries. They ignore them all. They could care less. It's all about them. And it's just going to make you frustrated. I know it made me frustrated, my wife and I frustrated for years, until we finally just said, enough's enough. Because no matter what they do, you try to establish a boundary, they will try to cross it. They will do everything they can. And they're just going to make you crazy. And it's not worth your time. It's absolutely not worth your time. So, like I said, leave me some comments. I'd love to hear what you guys deal with. What boundaries do you try to establish that they just disregard? Get out some of that frustration. I'd love to hear it and participate with you. Drop a like, subscribe if you enjoy the videos and the content. Let me know, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.